bring to the plate. The first base, number 88, Georgia Hood.
And if you've been watching, well, unfortunately we had a technical difficulty. We're in the top of the second, and hopefully you've got nice sound, volume sound here now. That one just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Georgia Hood. Good weights. And catching the outside as well. Cacchetti spotting these ones beautifully just on the outside. Catching that corner with 1 ball, 2 strikes now, the call on Georgia Hood. That one high, she's not going to fall for that. And it looks like, actually I've made a mistake there. That's Hayley Bonithan. Just got thrown by the technical difficulty. We've got 2 out. Bonithan takes a big swing at 1 inside after 2 outside and goes down swinging for the 3rd out. Now coming up for the next 3 batters for Victoria. The first 4 batters were Trim, Mercury, Mahi and Lamel. And if I'm not mistaken, the first one leading off will be Jackie DeServi, followed by Marina Walker and Victoria Kulik. Just running through that defensive lineup for South Australia's Jalen Ford pitching to Belinda White. At first base, Georgia Hood. Second base, Jordan Lambert. At third base, we have Alana Kaysler. Shortstops, Chelsea Robinson. In the outfield, we have Amber Hood at left, Madeline Cameron at centre, and Ada Brincat Tree at right. So we see the final warm-up pitch. Which, as I've said, will bring to bat the 3rd base, number 18, Jackie DeServi. DeServi's been a long-time servant of the Victorian Titans. And I remember commentating here quite a few years ago with DeServi playing in, I think her first tournament was the under-16s. That pitch just missing. And Jalen Ford, I don't think was too happy with that one. Wasn't sure where it went. Queries the umpire, but it's all good. 1 ball to call. That one catches the spot. 1 ball, 1 strike. And probably South Australia's best pitcher in this tournament. DeServi fouls that one off behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the call now. They've rotated the pitches through, but when the games really are up for grabs, you get the cream. And Jalen Ford and Cacchetti have certainly been that in the tournament. As De Servi fouls that one behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One way outside, evens up the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Victoria playing quite well this morning, losing to New South Wales 6-3, but we're in the game for quite a long time, and I'm sure New South Wales never felt completely comfortable with that win. The other games today, Queensland 12 defeated WA Flames. Got a few rookies coming through WA in that game. Servi fouls that one back. The call remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. And of course, this is our 3rd game for the day. In case you missed yesterday's, it was Queensland South Australia lost to Queensland 2-1 in their first game. Unlucky in that game. It's a nice shot. That's going to drop in. And De Servi gets the first or second hit. For the Victorians. Straight up the middle. Next up, second base, Marina Walker. Walker comes around, drops the bunt down to the pitcher. It's a nice sacrifice bunt. Finished off there by Ford pretty well. That brings to the plate the first base, Victoria Kulik. 20-second clock starts now. Some of the players, particularly out at centre field, having a little bit of a problem with that sun. Shielding the eyes. A couple of catches in earlier games dropped today. Someone drops in. 1 strike on Kulik. Runner on second. Big swing of that one. 2 strikes. Walker was so adept at dropping down that bunt. Took the heat right out of the ball. Kulik goes for a big swing though, and fella gets underneath that ball. So with 2 out, runner on 2. That brings up number 27, Polina Galkina. So Polina Galkina has a look at that one. 1 ball. Galkina comes around, tries to bunt, that pops that one behind. If I'm not mistaken, that's 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out. It's Jackie De Servi sitting on second base. Compliments of a sacrifice bunt by Marina Walker. The left-hander lines up, pops it out there again, goes up against the fence. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Ford not sure whether the ball was still alive. He's down to cover just in case. Not sure she could pick it up, that it would hit the back net. Or the bat, for that matter. It's a good habit to get into. Good role model for young players. If you're not sure, play it out. Fouls that one behind again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the second innings is brought to you by Travel Lodge Hotels. Ball way outside, evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Umpire Darryl Pierce. There's a slap of that one, slaps it over behind left. Going to go easily. Just waiting on the pitch now. Ooh, that ball comes right in, and unfortunately for Galkina, she's swinging the bat half to have a swing at it, half to protect herself. Regardless, gets the out with a K2. So we're going into the 3rd innings. That innings will be brought to you by East Coast Car Rentals. We're one of the largest independent car hire providers in Australia, offering you a wide range of great quality vehicles at the lowest possible rates in Australia. So let's get behind East Coast Car Rentals, who have become a big sponsor of softball in Australia, as have Fox Sports Australia. And you can catch the AP Cup Final and Summer Slam live on Fox Sport Australia from February the 2nd to the 5th. And as we mentioned before, the proceeds of the ticket sales will be going towards the New South Wales Fire Emergency Relief. Great idea by Softball Australia. Well, here we go to start off. Thought I was saying double. Starting off the 3rd innings, the left fielder, Amber Hood. Amber has a look at that one. Inside. 1 ball to call. Waiting on the pitch now. Right down the middle. Unfortunately, he gets the ball on the ground. It's straight to second base. Marina Walker. That brings to the plate the 3rd base, number 15, Lana Kaisler. Kaisler batting 8. Shapes up against Cacchetti. Cacchetti puts it high and outside. First ball. A fantastic carnival here in Perth. Weather conditions have been outstanding. Up around the mid-30s, just below today. That ball inside for 2 balls. Temperature at the moment is about 32, 33 degrees. Slight breeze just coming in from the west shortly. As you can see it just starting to blow in the trees now. Puts that one down the middle. Foul ball. Calls umpire Pierce. Takes the call to 2 balls, 1 strike. We're at the top of the 3rd. Up. Tries to drop that one in just a little bit wide. 3 balls, 1 strike to call now. Kaisler gets underneath that one with a big swing. Is there a full count now? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sets up, slaps that one beautifully, and bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. Yeah, nice shot by Kaisler. And first runner on deck for South Australia. So with the first runner on second, it brings up the shortstop, number 16, Chelsea Robinson. Robinson tries to lay the bunt down. Pitch is a bit low, just gets over the top of that. Bat's still hanging out there, so 1 strike. Yeah, drops that one down better. Drops it down to first base. Kulik plays that very nicely. A nice sacrifice bunt by Robinson, and that'll take us back to the top of the lineup. Ada, Kathryn, Kathryn drops down the bunt as well. Catcher Trim, having none of that, sees the spin of the ball, decides to leave it alone until it dribbles out. Experienced campaigner Trim. So beautiful. So 1 ball to call. Too high. Kathryn doesn't fall for that. Surprised that quite a few of the young ones in the tournament so far have been swinging at the high pitches. Just either bit of inexperience. That was a nice shot by Kathryn, a bit unlucky, straight down the throat of Jackie DeServi. With her experience, gobbles that up beautifully. 5-5. So 3 completed for South Australia. They're still yet to score. I have a feeling this is going to be a quick game, and it's going to be dominated by the pitchers. Just running through that South Australian defensive again. It's Jalen Ford to Belinda White, Georgia Hood on first, Jordan Lambert on second, Lana Kaisler on third, Chelsea Robinson's the shortstop, and at left field we have Amber Hood, Madeline Cameron in the middle, Ada Kathryn out right. Been outstanding out there in the right field all right through the first 4 days of the tournament. The unique thing about Diamond 1 here in Western Australia, although we get the sea breeze in the afternoon, it is down in a little bit of a hollow. Had a couple of the umpires suffer from heat exhaustion. But here we go to start off the bottom of the third. And it's the shortstop, 59, Grace Peters. Combination with the umpires of a lot of stress, not much water, and a lot of heat. And it has taken its toll a couple of times. Make sure you do that. Got to hydrate right through the whole tournament, as do all the good athletes. That one catches the hands, fouls back 1-1. Good having the use of the time clock, I think, too. That ball a bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike now. A couple of years ago, we had the Gillies here, the first of the 3 years, and the pitches were extraordinarily slow. I think it was a great idea bringing in that ball outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Softball known as a faster game, much faster game than a lot of others. That just tidies it up a little bit more and doesn't see a waste of a lot of time, which is what sports fans want these days. That ball catches the outside edge. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Peters. Peters hits that one nicely, bounces just on the inside of the right-hand fence. She has made some good contact during the carnival. It's been a little bit unlucky at times as well. Indicative of the Victorians' luck so far in the tournament. Big pitch. Straight down the middle. Cachetti, you know, I mean, Jalen Ford takes her on. Peters up to the task. Possibly around a little bit quicker. Another high pitch. That's what I was talking about before. The younger players falling for that. Brings in the second batter for Victorian in this innings. That's the catcher, Brianna Trim. And Ford drops that one in beautifully. Drops away, looks like it was going to be high. Drops right in the middle. First strike, that one a bit high, trying to tempt her. Experienced campaigners rarely fall for that now. It's usually one they save for the rookies. Nice pitch, bit of movement on the outside there. Trim has a nice cut at it. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, picks that one up inside. Yeah, nicely done there by the third base in Lana Kaisler. Nice take there by Kaisler, and that'll bring to bat, if I'm not mistaken, Amelia Mercury. So with 2 out, Mercury, the right fielder. Left-handers have been pretty dangerous in the tournament. That one comes down the middle, elects not to have a swipe at it. Yeah, gets a bit of that. Says inside, Darryl Pierce. Close call there at first base. Mercury's safe. Great softball all round. And nice work there by Kaisler as well. Here we go with the DP, Courtney Maihee. That ball catches the outside for the first strike. We've got 2 out. Curry's pretty quick. And, ooh, I thought she was gone. Yeah, checked by Belinda White. So 2 strikes now on Maihee. Tries to tempt way outside. Maihee not falling for that. But falls for that nice high pitch. K2's for the 3rd out. So after 3 completed innings, still no score. Bit of music for our visitors outside here today, enjoying the sunshine. Coming up over the next three batters will be the second base, Jordan Lambert. She'll be followed by Belinda White, experienced catcher, an Australian campaigner, and then Madeline Cameron. Maddie Cameron. It'd be nice to be able to travel the world like that, like she has at that young age. Fabulous for her. So to start us off in this innings, number 7, Jordan Lambert. This first innings brought to you by First Ever. One catches the outside of the plate for the first strike. First Ever, of course, our good friends in softball apparel. Visit there on their website, firstever.com/softball. One drops into strike territory, 2 strikes. It's on the pitch. Lambert not willing to take the chance. There's a strike at that. Catches a piece of it and stays alive. Comes the pitch now. Yeah, Cacchetti caught the outside there. So that'll bring us up to the catcher, number 2, Belinda White. White from the Sturt Falcons. That ball way outside. She's been a 4-time in the World Championships. Played in that Olympic qualifier. Played in the Canada Cup and also the USA World Cup. Think about high performance softball as they get around the world. It's a nice piece of that out to left field. First runner for this innings. Kathryn Lamar. Was it Schaefer, I think, actually. Restricting it to 1 base. Brings up Madeline Cameron. Oh, drops that one just outside the line. Another Sturt Falcons softball club player. Debuted in the 2018 Japan Cup. What an experience that would have been. Holds the bat out. Second strike called. Second base, Marina Walker, trying to dance with Belinda White. She's tripping over as she's made the play. Got 1 out, 2 strikes on the batter. That ball way outside looks like a pitch out. Make sure that White stays where she belongs. It's on first base, as far as they're concerned, for Victoria. That ball way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runner on first. That one's just a bit high. Loads up the count. As I say, it's not a bad pitch when you consider all the strikeouts we've seen from high pitches, especially against younger players. Although Matty has debuted in 2011 for a state. 8 or 9 years under a belt now. Fouls that one behind. Not going to let her scalp go too easily. Continues to give herself a chance. Hits that one straight back to Cacchetti. Takes the catch. Tries to get the double. But as Victoria all week have struggled a bit with that. And as we see Madeline Cameron coming in to run for Belinda White, the speed up rule. Bring to the plate 88, Georgia Hood. Nice start for Cacchetti. Cameron takes off. Hood just gets underneath that one, fouls it back. 2 strikes are called, 2 out, and we've got a runner. Madeline Cameron on first base. Runner goes. Just gets underneath. Fielder not happy with the call. Was pretty close. Umpire Harrison calls time, straightens up the base, so she's safe on second. The call is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out. Chetty has a good look. Catches the outside beautifully. Closes out the innings. As I said before, I think this is going to be a pitcher's game. That ball called 3rd strike. And just once again, we'd like to thank some of our corporate partners, particularly Sonic Australia is a leading retailer of quality consumer technology products. They're bringing the latest tech products to millions of Australians, help enrich their lives by being one of the most affordable brands on the market. Also, our good friends at PTP strive to offer the latest fitness accessories and knowledge, ultimately becoming an integral part of every personal fitness journey, encompassing everything from rehabilitation, yoga and Pilates through to power training. Softball Australia members can access an exclusive 20% discount on all of the products if you visit softball.org.au/member benefits. So we see Cacchetti finishing her warm-up, tailing forward. We go back to Victoria, the bottom of the 4th. And number 84, Rebecca Schaefer, coming to the plate. There must have been something wrong earlier. So we had Kathryn Lamar down in this position. I think Cameron did get back and then placed by Rebecca at left field. So 1 strike the call, swing and a miss for 2 strikes. feeling this could go the whole way, possibly into a tie-break situation maybe later on. Ford or Cacchetti not wanting to give away anything, and that one just catches the outside. Schaefer, first out for the innings, brings to the plate number 18, Jackie DeServi. DeServi fielding at third base today. There's a good look, good pitch. After a high one, fouls it back, just getting underneath it for her second strike. Already got one out. Yeah, beautifully attacked there by the South Australian shortstop in Chelsea Robinson. It's the second out. That'll bring to the plate the second base, number 37, Marina Walker. Tempting a little bit high for a ball. One just scrapes the paint on the bat. The first strike, 1 ball, 1 strike to call. Tries to drop that one in from high. Just misses. 2 balls, 1 strike to call. 2 out, nobody on. Pitches continue to dominate. And that one gets popped up. That sun is pretty tricky there, and you just noticed the South Australian second base, Jordan Lambert, just struggling a little bit with that sun. Adjusts beautifully, shields it, takes the out. Job well done. So we've got 4 completed innings, still no score, and I think we've had about 3 or 4 runners in the game. Yeah, 4 runners in the game so far. So Jalen Ford and Greta Cacchetti dominating the game so far. Both sides lining up with a pretty competitive lineup for this game, knowing how important it is. I think we're looking at the A teams for these 2 clubs, states. So here we go for the top of the 5th, the leadoff batter. For South Australia is the DP, Hayley Benithan. Somebody got the wrong door if you heard that. Just catches the right side of the plate. First strike of the innings. That one a bit low. Oh no, just catches up enough. 2 strikes the call. Umpire Darryl Pearce, I believe this is his first national tournament. Doing a great job so far. Benithan fouls that one back. Looking tough in there. 2 strikes the call. Nice pitch, big swing by Benithan. The first out, that brings up the left fielder. Up to bat is Amber Hood. Amber ground out to second base and her first at bat in the third innings. Yeah, nice pitch, spotted beautifully there by Cacchetti. Good call by umpire Darryl Pearce, just outside, evens it up. 1 ball, 1 strike, with 1 out. Always a dangerous player with the bat, the Woods. Takes a big swing at that. It's down and in a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Difficult position to get out to or down to. Takes a very quick adjustment required. It's that one just out right over the fence. Just not the fence that she wanted. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. I think she's in trouble. Yes. Umpire Pearce says yes, she did. Once again, one of those high pitches confusing some of the batters. And Lana Kaisler comes up to bat, number 15. Lana got a nice piece of the ball, if you remember, out to left field. Stand-up double. Cacchetti with her first loose pitch of the game. A little bit of a chuckle to herself. Says, I'll remedy that pretty quick right now. 1 ball. Kaisler. Yeah, another nice shot straight down the middle, picked up by second base, but way too deep for the second base. And Kaisler for her second hit of the game. Brings to the plate the shortstop, Chelsea Robinson. South Australia need to put these hits back to back if they're going to be any chance. And then again, I suppose both sides can be said the same. Robinson having a fine tournament at shortstop so far. Drops that one on the ground, picked up by second base, but way too late. I'm not sure whether the Cacchetti slowed that down, if she got a glove to that, but the ball did seem to spin a fair bit off the bat. And Jordan Lambert, the second base Marina Walker for Victoria, tried to attack it, but just that little bit late. Umpire Mark Rigg just checking to see there was no obstruction by the runner. And the umpires call in for consultation. Not so sure. I'll leave it to them. That's their job. National Storage. You can win the ultimate softball prize thanks to National Storage, including flights, accommodation, tickets to the AP Cup final and SummerSlam opening day. Head to softball.org.au/competition for all the details of that. So bring Kathryn to bat. Runners on 1 and 2. Compliments of that We call it a slow riser or slowed down by the pitcher's glove. We're not too sure. Maybe you picked it up better on the TV, but doesn't matter because there's runners on 1 and 2 for South Australia. Here's a real good opportunity because a high pitch gets spilled by Trim, allows the runners to get into scoring position at 2 and 3. Those runners are Lana Kaisler and Chelsea Robinson. And we've got Ada Brincat Tree in the batting box. Great opportunity for her and, of course, South Australia. That ball way outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now. 2 out, runners on 2 and 3. Exciting time for South Australian fans. And believe me, their supporters made a lot of noise last night. Oh, that one drops in, evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Umpire Pearce just checking. It is 2 outs, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very important moment in the game. Chetty lines up. Oh, Brincat Tree, very unlucky. Just drops it that little bit short and taken there by the second base for Victoria in Marina Walker. He's by no means tall, but gets that nice leap. Affects the 3rd out in a very dangerous situation. So we go into the bottom of the 5th. This game most important for both sides. Particularly Victoria, if they're going to have any chance in the tournament, I believe must win this game. South Australia have lost a couple of close games and they'll be sitting there thinking we're not absolute favourites to get into that semi-final right now. The way the Victorians have been very unlucky, anything could happen here too. They've just, everything's gone wrong at the wrong time. And spoke to their coach Mark Rigg today, and he said, I think we've run over a black cat on the way to a game or something, because he can't believe how bad it is. Anyway, back to the start of the top of the bottom of the 5th, and the lead-off batter for the Victorian Titans is their catcher, number 2, Brianna Trim. Umpire Darryl Pearce. Amanda Howison's at first base. At third, we've got James English. And young Jamie McLean is on the clock. Personally, I think he's got one of the better jobs. Not a lot of stress. You get indicated, and that's what that indication by the umpires at the start of the pitching process. See, like a chop. And he's telling the clock to start. Swings at that one and misses Kulik, sorry. And my apologies, I think I introduced Brianna Trim. It was actually Victoria Kulik. Polina Galkina is up to bat anyway. Has a look at that one, says, I don't want to have a part of it. The ball drops in and catches the outside. Has a swipe at that. Very unfashionable swipe at it. Like a bit of a bowing action. Trying to adjust mid-air. 2 strikes the call. Galkina protecting herself. More than having a shot at it. There's a bit of a chuckle with Belinda White. One thing about this tournament this year has been extremely good camaraderie between the teams. That one down low, which is a great thing leading to the Olympic selection process, because there's so many people have a chance at selection, and so a very competitive tournament. But as I said, with great camaraderie between the state players. So we've got 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Got one out. Yeah, pops that one up. It's the sort of luck they're having. Pops that one and taken by first base Georgia Hood. And now entering the batting box is number 59, Grace Peters. Young Peters, a very quick player. I was surprised how quick she was. Saw her a couple of times with her brought into base run as well. I can understand that. There's a big swing at that one for her first strike. That one drops in, catches the outside. Spotted beautifully by Jalen Ford. And yes, she did, says umpire Darryl Pearce. And once again, that high pitch catching players. And just once again, I believe the tournament that's been held in the ACT may be transferred. We'll have further details on that for you. I think that's the men's tournament due to the fires over on the eastern seaboard. And let me tell you, the rest of the country is with you. And our thoughts and prayers. It'd be nice to get a bit of rain. Not just for the fires, for the farmers, for everybody. It's in the hands of the gods. Fantastic to see at the awards last night, the movie awards, and so many of the actors realizing and putting in perspective the fact that they've won an award, and then talking about the calamity that is the eastern seaboard of Australia. So don't forget, athletes don't fuel their bodies with junk food and sugary soft drinks, and neither should you. Live lighter today. Thanks to our sponsors once again, Healthways, been a fantastic sponsor for Western Australian softball over many years. And to start us off in the top of the 6th, Jordan Lambert. So 6 innings. We're in that 6th innings. 2 balls against Lambert. Or for Lambert, I should say. Been on you. Actually, we have a change. Yes, we do. It's Kelly Barnhill come in to close out the game. So Victoria keeping on the pressure by bringing in Barnhill. Fresh pitcher, 2 balls, 1 strike to call. Barnhill has also been one of the impressive pitchers of the tournament. I think most sides have got 2 high quality pitchers, and she's been one of them for Victoria. Lambert gets a piece of that out to right. Oh, just fumbled by second base, Marina Walker, with a valiant effort. Sometimes valiant efforts are heartbreaking, and they don't count because she's still on base. So we'll get Lambert on base and brings up to bat the catcher, Belinda White. Just the sort of player you want in this situation. Top of the sixth, your state needs you. It's a call that she wasn't happy with. I thought it did catch the inside. Umpire Darryl Pearce had a great game so far. Light pops that one up. Trim, valiant in her efforts. Unfortunately, just drops in front of her. But it gives Barnhill something to work with 2 strikes on the batter. With an experienced campaigner like Belinda White, it's not a bad thing to have. And that's what I mean. Experience counts for a lot. Pops that one just inside the left field line. And sees her safely on second. Advances the runner in Lambert. Nice job by Belinda White advancing the runner and sees her safely on second. And that'll bring to the plate number 14, the centre fielder, Madeley Cameron. Maddie's been at bat 3 times. She had a K2 and then popped one out just a little bit. Unfortunately, got underneath it, popped it to the pitcher, and gets a nice pitch from Barnhill straight down the middle. They mean business right now. So we got 1 strike on Barnhill. For Barnhill against Cameron. So now we've got 2 strikes. Two strikes the call. It's underneath that. It's a nice pitch by Barnhill, gets the out. So we get 1 out. And brings to bat Georgia Hood. One thing about Georgia Hood, very difficult to get out. Perfect player for this situation with only 1 out. Runner on 3. Also on second is Belinda White. That one just a little bit high. We got 1 ball, 1 strike. Very tense time in the game for both sides. Barnhill puts that one up high. The runner Lambert starts to come, but realizes Trim's taken that catch. It was a good bit of work by the catcher. Lambert scrambling back. So we've got 2 balls, 1 strike on the batter with 1 out. Chance to break this game right open. And pops that one up, drops over, taken beautifully by second base. Marina Walker gets back in time, takes the catch. So that's 2 out. Still those runners in scoring position on 2 and 3. And looks like number 8 coming in for the speed up rule. Take the place. Brincat Tree will be running for Belinda White. Brincat Tree pretty quick as well. I think the coach, Mark Rigg, takes the opportunity to have a quick word to the girls Obviously saying keep it cool. Umpire James English telling the batter take it easy. We get Darryl Pearce, the plate umpire, just finishing off that change. And we have Haley Benoithen. My apology, we did have a change, I didn't see it. Sarah Tonkin is come into bat. It's a pinch hitter. Crowds the plate. It's in close. I think she got the pitch she wanted. May have been just a fraction high. Gets around early and pops it foul to the left. So 2 strikes on her, 2 runners on in scoring positions, and 2 out. Crucial time. Crowds that plate again. Gets underneath that. Pops it up. And just taken inside by Brianna Trim. What a great play. What a magnificent performance all round that top of that innings. So we go into the bottom of the 6th. Both sides in a crucial game wanting to win this one. And we'll have, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Amelia McCurry, Courtney Maihai and Rebecca Schaefer, the first 3 batters up for Victoria. Unless there is a change. Jalen Ford is still pitching for South Australia and doing a great job, I might add, to Belinda White. I don't think there's been any changes. I think it's still Georgia Hood at first base. Jordan Lambert at second. So here we go, the bottom of the 6th. What an exciting game of softball. And lead-off batter. It's back to the top of the lineup for Victoria. It's their catcher number 2, Brianna Trim. Takes her first strike. That one low and outside. Trim today hit one straight back at the pitcher. It was a 1-3 and I believe a 5 to ground ball to third base. That was a 5-3. We've got 2 balls and 1 strike. Confirmed by umpire Darryl Pearce. That one straight down the middle, pops it up, and beautifully taken there by the first base. Georgia Hood takes a nice catch for the first out. Brings to the plate Amelia McCurry. McCurry, a famous name in the AFL. Of course, an Essendon champion and premiership player. White holds that one. Well, to no avail, it's 1 ball. The little left-hander McCurry. Nice shot earlier in the game out to right field. K2'd in the second. Takes a swing and running swing at that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. This has got tie break written all over it, this game. Ooh, and she's hit on the leg. Hit by the pitch ball in Cool's time. Boy, do they hurt. especially in that part of the leg. Japanese pitcher Tsukamoto having a breather in the game earlier today from one exactly the same, the West Australian Japanese import. Anyway, back to this, it's Courtney Mihai, the DP. Comes around looking for the bunt. Ball's too low for her. I'll have none of that. One ball. McCurry toughing it out on first base, staying out there. Mihai just fouls that one behind. Now we have an even 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouls that one behind. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you heard the phone, it's probably my wife asking me if I have my heart tablets. Very stressful game, this one. That ball up high evens that I count up to 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've got McCurry on first base. Copped a nice old slap and stinging ball in the thigh. Stays out there. Mihai gets a piece of that. Falls just left of third baseline. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. This innings brought to you by Travelodge Hotels. The ball comes in. It's in the right place. Beautifully done. Yeah, nice play by South Australia. Get the lead runner, but not the second one. So Mihai will be replaced by number 24, which is Sarah Tutchiner. A lot of concern for Tutchiner last night. Hopefully she's okay with that arm. We all want to see her back on the diamond. Most thought that it was a break in the arm. It's heavily bandaged. Sometimes those breaks can be hairline, and she could be okay for the rest of the tournament. Let's hope so anyway. So looks like we have a re-entry. Rebecca Schaefer did come in, replace Lamel, but up to bat right now is number 23, Kathryn Lamar. 2 out. Pressure remains. Touching her, the runner on first, has a swing at that one outside Lamel. Strike 1. Forward looks for a signal. Lines up now. Big swing. Umpires Darryl Pearce said she did go. 2 strikes, the call now on Lamel. Fouls that one behind. Pressure remains. We're in the bottom of the 6th innings. Neither side scoring. Just shows how important this game is to both sides. South Australian, the grand finalists last year, took it right up to New South Wales in the grand final and called a 3rd strike, catches the outside, closes off the innings. And here we go for the last and final innings. One of these sides will hopefully be wanting. Not so sure. I have a feeling that this is, as I said before, got tie-break written all over it. Anyway, back to catch the AP Cup final and SummerSlam live on Fox Sports this year. And from February the 2nd to the 5th. If you're actually going to the tournament, please book online, because all those ticket sales will be going to the bushfire appeal in New South Wales. And I'm sure we'd all like to see that. A lot of money raised for that appeal. So we have Barnhill coming into pitch, or finishing off her second innings, or starting her second innings. And the leadoff runner is number 6, Amber Hood. Ball inside, 2 balls now. Barnhill, probably the recognised closer for Victoria. Drops that one up high. We got 3 balls. That sun dropping right in, particularly on right field. Centre field is shielding her eyes. It's pretty tough out there. Just when you give a pitcher a rap, she walks Amber Hood. I'm sure the South Australian coach in Morgan Young will be very happy about that. So the Victorians have a little bit of a powwow in the centre. Batter and runner for South Australia have a powwow with their coach. We're back on board. Number 15, Lana Kaysler. Ball inside and low. Wouldn't like to be a betting man having a big bet on this. As soon as I open my mouth, I've done it again. Put the jinx on Barnhill. Drops one over the top of trim. Puts Amber Hood in scoring position on second base with 2 balls on Kaysler. Drops in behind trim, underneath trim. She loses the ball, spins around, and that time Amber Hood scrambles to third base. And we have 3 balls on Kaysler. Ball inside, so Kaysler gets the walk. So we've got runners on 1 and 3 now.
Okay.
Dangerous position for Victoria, who've been so tight the whole game. Greta Kachetting, I think, giving up, if I'm not mistaken, only 3 hits for the game. Replaced by Barnhill in the 6th.
A bit less shutter.
Mind you, Barnhill started very well in that 6th innings. here we go. Chelsea Robinson is the batter. And of course the runner goes. Very predictable. So we've got Robinson in the batting box. There's one ball. This runner's Amber Hood on third, Lana Kaisler on second base, and a vacant first base position. Crucial part of the game, I believe. And Victoria to lose another game in the 7th innings. Just continue their bad luck, run of bad luck in the tournament. But you know what softball's like. As soon as you open your mouth, they'll prove you wrong. And pops that one up high. And drops in. Oh no, dropped by the centre fielder, Polina Galkina, and scores the first run for South Australia. Very difficult catch, that one. And unfortunate for Victoria. Fortunate for South Australia as they score their first run. And that takes us up to the top of the lineup with Ada Brincat Tree. So they've got one run. Do they go for the pick-off? I don't think so. Whoop, fouls it off. I think that was self-preservation. Fouls that one off, the bat up high near the face. Reflex action, they call that. That ball high, gets behind Trim. Well, Trim's there, but no one at third base, so runs it down, which allows Kaisler. No, Robinson to advance. Kaisler advanced to third base, Robinson to second. And we see Lana Kaisler coming off now, maybe for some running repairs. And I think she's being replaced. Yes, she's being replaced. And Chelsea Robinson coming in. Oh, hang on. The umpire's going over there just to confirm what's going on. Robinson coming, takes the helmet off. So we'll just wait and see what happens here. One run. Victoria will be thinking, oh no, not again. Your umpires in this game are Daryl Pearce. In his first tournament, I think doing a great effort too. At first base, we have Amanda Howison, experienced Amanda, and James English at third base. Jamie McLean's on the clock. And just in case you're not sure and you haven't experienced this when you're watching softball at this level, the umpire sliding his hand at the start of each pitch is just indicating to the clock that's the time to start. So we have Ada Brincat Tree, and it looks like Kaisler's had to come back out to third base. We've got the call of one strike on Brincat Tree. That was that one that popped up or headed towards the face, and I think it was a reflex action, just getting the ball or the bat to the ball and fouling it off behind, as she does get underneath that slightly and fouls that one behind as well. So we still haven't got any outs for South Australia. So interesting to see what happens here, but one ball, one strike. She takes a swing outside of, so it was one ball, two strikes. That's the third. Our scoreboard getting a little bit behind there. Caught me out. Bring it to the plate, number 7, Jordan Lambert. Ball to start off. West Torrens Softball Club product. Oh, Barnhill drops that one extremely high again. So a nice easy pitch for Lambert to take the second ball in her count. Still dangerous. Has a swing in it. The runner goes. She's out at first, but scores the run for South Australia as Kaiser crosses the plate. So did her job. Puts the ball on the ground. Scores the run. 2 runs to South Australia. Now we have 2 out. We've still got that runner on third base, however. And once again, the experienced Belinda White coming to the plate. That ball inside, gets past the catcher, that wild pitch. I think Barnhill needs to just slow down a bit. Gather her thoughts. Mind you, easy to say when you're not in a pressure situation in a national tournament. She's been fantastic all week so far. That one drops in. White looks like she's crowding the plate a bit too. She's done that, did that before and crowded it a little bit late. No, sets in a normal position now. That ball inside and low. So we've got 2 out, 2 runs for South Australia. Still that runner on third base. And Belinda White at the plate. Big swing by White, kicks herself. Said that wasn't my pitch. It was low. It was inside. I think it was in the strike zone though, so she wasn't far away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the call on her now. Has a cut of that one, a nice cut of that one. Gets it behind though for the foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the call remains. Game that went very quickly today. Until now. White pulls back on that one. Linda White, Brianna Trim asked the question. No, says Amanda Howison. So count remains. Oh, goes 3 balls, 2 strikes rather. So full count. Pressure time. Yes, catches the inside. That was there. Great call by umpire Darryl Pearce for the 3rd out. Not before South Australia scored 2 runs and lead the game, going into the bottom of the 7th after a 0-all game right up until this innings. Young Jordan Lambert, Australian debut in 2017. She thinks she's played about 15 games for Australia, but she's also had international representation, the USA World Cup, the Canada Cup and the Japan Cup. The young people of today, when they play at high-level sports, great opportunities to get around the world. But not only get around the world, but stay there for a little while and enjoy the cultures of different countries, particularly Japan. A lot of players now at the top level playing in the Japan League and the professional league in the USA, and in our off season playing in places like Italy and Germany. Here we go, bottom of the 7th. Can Victoria come back? Our leadoff batter, Start us off on the bottom of the bottom of the 7th. It's the experienced campaigner, Jackie DeServi. Crucial time right now for Victoria. I think it'll be extremely hard for them if they can't collect a win here. They've been extremely competitive right up until the 7th innings in a lot of games, and in fact have led in the 7th innings and then beaten in the bottom of the 7th. So that ball inside and high, 1 ball 1 strike. DeServi, a fierce competitor, I'm sure. Will be giving everything right here. Has a good cut at that. Gets slightly under it and fouls it back behind. So now the call, 1 ball 2 strikes. No, that one outside and low. Good call, umpire. Pierce. 2 balls 2 strikes. DeServi at the plate. Jalen Ford, the pitcher. Belinda White, the catcher. Fouls that one off behind again. Jalen Ford, fantastic in this tournament. Proving that again today. Let's hope I just haven't jinxed her. 2 balls 2 strikes on the lead-off hitter for Victoria, Jackie DeServi. Gets a piece of that one, but drops it over the right field fence, or the first base fence. She'd like to drop it over a fence. 2 balls 2 strikes, the call on Jackie. Ford just taking her time and drops that one down beautifully, drops away, gets the first out. It's very unusual to see DeServi deceived after getting singled today and then a ground ball out earlier. Marina Walker is at bat. Number 37, the second base, sacrifice bunt in the first innings. Got under one and popped it up to second base in the second at bat. Pops that one foul. So 1 strike, the call. 1 out. And pitch high. Too high. Walker says, I'll have none of that. 1 ball 1 strike. Sets up outside. Has a big swing in it. Went a bit high, and I don't think it was that far out wide where White set up, but got the desired result, so it's 1 ball 2 strikes. One out. Yeah. Ford showing her experience again. Gets another K2. And it looks like coach Mark Rigg coming in to make another change, and it looks like number 15, Chloe Goodfellow, probably is going to come up. Pinch hit. Just waiting for her to turn around and just confirm that. Yeah, number 15 it is, Chloe Goodfellow. She's a tough time in a game. You're 2 down, there's 2 out, and you come into pinch hit. It's a pretty tough gig in anybody's language. Belinda White just confirming to Jalen Ford there's 2 out, or was that Chloe Goodfellow? Yeah, nice pitch. Catches that top corner. Great way to start. That one high. She lost that a bit. She looked a bit disappointed with that pitch. Shakes her hand a bit as if it got away a little bit out of the fingers. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Catching that corner again, she's been doing it the whole tournament. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. A win for South Australia, beckoning, and catches her swinging. Gets the K2 to finish off the game. 3rd K2 for that innings. And what a great game of softball here this afternoon. Both sides giving it everything, knowing how important this game was. I'm sure Coach Mark Rigger will be shattered again. But for Morgan Young, keeps his side, South Australia, the South Australian Stars, in the hunt for that coveted semi-final. So as the umpires leave, we'll leave you, but don't forget, a little bit later, live streaming from here in Perth, Queensland Heat take on the New South Wales Firestar. And if you want to see the locals, game, you can see the WA Flames take on the South Australian Stars on the WA website. That'll be live streamed as well as the 2 sides come together. It's farewell. Hope you enjoyed the coverage.
And ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic game. Victoria and the eventual winners, South Australia. And for the South Aussies fans, don't go too far away, 6:30, they'll be taking over the WA.